is May the 1st. Um, I love May. I think it's my favorite month. Of course, it's my birthday month, but I love it for all kinds of reasons. I love it because, spring is here mostly. Yeah, we still get a few winds, we still get a few cold days, but spring is here, and we're looking forward to the magnolias are out in full bloom in certain parts of the world. Magnolias are one of my favorites. They look like these incredible white wax. They look almost like wax, the flowers. They are so beautiful, so beautifully shaped. So I love the magnolias. Tulips are out. I know that in England the daffodils are raising their heads and swaying about all over the place. Spring is beautiful, and May, as I've said, is my favorite month. All right, so it's the 1st of May. Before we begin, of course, I have to say good morning to my spirit guide, Gregel, who also, oh, I did forget that, didn't I? So apparently, yes, and I saw them yesterday, hyacinths. Don't you love hyacinths? Hyacinths have this incredible smell, and they're just these beautiful spring flowers. Mostly people have them indoors, and I saw them yesterday, and I meant to get myself a hyacinth, and then I didn't. But anyway, we can live without them, but just thinking about them is just they're just gorgeous bulbs. So we've got lots of bulbs coming out. So anyway, here is Gregel. We're saying good morning. He's obviously joining in the conversation here. So I'd also like to say good morning to our facilitator, Chris. Good morning, Chris. And I would like to say good morning to all of you out there who are joining us today. I know that we do have to, before we really get going into the show, we do have to wait for people to excuse me, give people time to log on. So we're going to be doing that. So while we're waiting for people to log on, what do I have to tell you? Oh, I know what I have to tell you. Talking of spring and flowers and so on, over the Easter time, I was looking at some Easter cactus and Christmas cactus. They call them holiday cactus. And some of them can be stunning. I mean, really, really stunning. They have huge flowers and so on. And I thought maybe I'll get a nice big one, because usually I take cuttings and do it all myself. But I thought, right, let me see. So I went to this place. It's called Plant City. Don't go there. Don't get anything from them. Don't buy anything, because they showed these beautiful 1-gallon pots, these incredible. There was a white one with some pink in the center, and there was I can't remember now, an orangey pinky thing, and they were gorgeous. They were glorious, and they showed them, and I'm fully aware that, when I actually got them. And I'm fully aware that when you get these things, you can't expect them to be flowering, because an Easter cactus, maybe they're not flowering anymore, or a Christmas cactus, maybe isn't flowering yet. But I wanted the size, and I wanted the shape, and I wanted the size of the pot. So these things were $40 a piece. Yes, I know it's expensive. I know. But I thought, these are perfect. I was so excited to get them. And we read the reviews, and some of the reviews weren't great, it's true. But I thought, what can go wrong? Well, I can tell you exactly what went wrong, because I'm expecting these beautiful, huge, gorgeous, glorious holiday cactus. And in the mail comes a small cardboard box like this. I'm not kidding, about that size by that deep. And I'm thinking, what is this? And I was not expecting anything else. And I opened it up, and inside were two small packages in cellophane bags, and one said white and one said pink or whatever color it was. And I'm looking at these things, and it's just a bunch of cuttings. I doubt if they were more than 3 or 4 inches, about that big. And I'm thinking, where is my 1 gallon beautiful cactus? What is this? And all I got was a bunch of cuttings, which I then, so I called, couldn't get through, called again, couldn't get through. Finally sent an email complaining, obviously, where are my 2 beautiful cactus that I just paid $40 each for. And anyway, finally someone called me back, and I explained, and I said, look, if I wanted cuttings, I could have gotten my own, and I wouldn't have had to have paid $40. I know plenty of people who could give me cuttings. And I said I wanted the large plants, and she said, well, it does say on the website that we don't send the tub and soil if they're over a certain size. And I said, I went over your website with a fine-tooth comb, because, as you know, you don't have some great reviews. So I really went thoroughly through it. So I said, wherever that disclaimer is, it's got to be teeny tiny in the small print where most people are going to miss it. She apologized. She said, send me the photos, which I'd already taken photos of these cuttings. Send me the photos. And I said, can you send me the email where I need to send them to? She said, yes. And that was over a week ago. I have no email. She said, if you don't get the email, look in your trash. I've looked in the trash. I looked in the junk. Nothing. I've got nothing from them whatsoever. Anyway, these poor things, I couldn't let them die. So I had to then go trotting off, buy potting compost, buy all of the, the pots and the trays and so on. These things cost me a fortune just to get my own stuff. And these people in Plant City, whatever, Plant World, whatever it's called, they've disappeared. They've disappeared from sight. But anyway, I've been spending the last week potting and planting and doing all the things I didn't want to do. And I don't have what I bought. But hopefully before I die, I'm going to end up with some nice plants. Who knows? But it just is such a caution, isn't it? Just a real caution. We really, really do have to be so careful. In the meantime, good news, good story. I also went on to Amazon, and they had some holiday cactus there, and I got one for, I think it cost me $20 or $25 or something, and it came in a box. I'm thinking, no. Please, let's not have the same thing again. But this box was deeper and so on, and the cactus is exactly what it showed. Beautiful thing. It is just the buds are starting to come out. It's just starting to flower. I'm sure it's flowered before. It's just starting to flower again. And I'm thinking to myself, I could have just bought 3 of these in different colors and had exactly what I wanted. But anyway, so we've got bad news, we've got good news. All I'm saying to you is this, do read the reviews and pay attention to them. And, understand that there are people out there. I think the woman, actually, when I spoke to her on the phone, she was very nice, very apologetic. Send me the photos, but where would I send them to? And then she said, you probably, we don't scam our customers. And I said, well, It seems to me when you're advertising, and even on the receipt for the bill, two big giant pots of these gorgeous, beautiful thing, beautiful, huge plant. I said, I've got two packages with what, a dozen, maybe a dozen cuttings in each one. And I said, seems to me that this is the best scam ever. So do be careful. However, I have been planting. So, and it's good to do that sort of thing, isn't it, in there? And I did enjoy doing it, but that's beside the point, isn't it? I didn't want to do it. I just wanted to get these two beautiful plants. I'm going to stop moaning and complaining now. We're not going to talk about it anymore. Chris, is there anybody there?
There are, Rosemary. Angela's giving you an early happy Mother's Day.
Oh, thank you. When is Mother's Day?
I have not looked that far ahead.
I think in England we already did Mother's Day. In England, I think it's March or something. Yeah, pretty sure that in England we have Mother's Day in March. And I'm pretty sure Mother's Day is, yes, it is sometime in May, because it's around or comes. My daughter sort of sends me, every year I get these beautiful orchids, white orchids. I'm very, very fond of, the big, large, white flowered orchids. I'm very fond of those. So she actually sends me, there's a great woman talking about, the worst of things. There's this great woman. She's an Asian lady. She's lovely. She's in Sarasota, and she produces the most beautiful orchids. And so every year my daughter goes to her and buys me 7 orchids, and she puts them in a beautiful, beautiful pot for me. But last year, let me tell you about last year. Last year, the orchids came. They were beautiful. My daughter sort of combines Mother's Day and birthday, and she gets away with it, really. I feel a bit cheated. Not really. I don't feel cheated. I'm not, just kidding. But here I am, and I've got these orchids, and they're on the doorstep. So I open the door, and they're far too big and heavy for me to pick up. So I decide I'm going to drag them. They're sitting in sort of like a box. So I slide them through, and I start to slide them through, and I have to go from one end of the house to the other end of the house, which is where I keep my orchids. And I'm sliding along. And then sort of out of the corner of my eye, I see a glimpse of something moving. And when I look, it's a long, thin, black snake that came in with the orchids. So when you have flowers delivered, or when you have, just check. This time, when I'm going to go out, I'm going to get a stick, and I'm going to be poking the thing to make sure there's nothing inside. Anyway, my neighbor across the street came and scooped that snake up. I don't know how she did it, but she scooped it up with her hands, held it up by its head, and then threw it in the lake. Because anyway, yeah, there's excitement here. The excitement all the time. Chris.
All right, so I looked it up. May 11th is Mother's Day.
Oh, there you are. So that's 8 days or something before my birthday. So I guess I'm not going to get much for Mother's Day, but I'll get something for my birthday, which is brilliant for me. Absolutely brilliant. And I know absolutely that my daughter's going to be sending me orchids, which I look forward to every year. And the nice thing about orchids, they just keep flowering and flowering. The orchids I had from my last birthday, I've never had this before. The orchids from my last birthday, they're still there, still flowering. The ones from the year before and the year before that, still flowering, just doing beautifully. And this year, 2 of my orchids have produced little baby orchids, sort of little leaves halfway up the stems. So I'm waiting for the roots to come, and maybe I'll get 2 extra orchids this year for my birthday. You never know. Chris, keep going.
Leslie's giving you an update.
Good morning, Leslie.
She says Willow, the rescue dog whose owner died, is going to a wonderful home.
Oh,
If Gray
brilliant.
Eagle had anything to do with that, thank you.
Well, I'm not sure. Well, yes. I mean, the universe works in mysterious ways, doesn't it? And, I always say that, I have Grey Eagle with me, but he has lots of people with him. So, however it happened, and whoever we can thank, which I think is, that God force, that universal God force that is out there. I was thinking about that this morning. I was talking to somebody a couple of days ago who is Muslim, um, not particularly practicing, but she has kind of the same viewpoint as me. If you're listening to somebody who's got something interesting to say, it doesn't matter what their religion they are, it doesn't matter what belief system or what faith. If they have something interesting to say, or so they say something which is inspiring to you, I mean, isn't that great? But I just think that universal God force that is out there uh, is just amazing and stunning in the things that happen. I'm so glad that Willow has a wonderful, wonderful home, and I hope you get updates from time to time. That would be nice, right? I was thinking about my beautiful Cachorro the other day. I came home from I went to see my grandson play at Carnegie Hall this year, which was brilliant, and he did brilliantly, of course. And then they were here for a week. I think it was last week, and so we took them to the airport. And as I walked through the door, I mean, this doesn't often happen, but every now and again I walk through the door, and of course I don't have any animals anymore. I don't have any pets anymore, and I just missed having my puppies. I just missed, Cachorro because he was my last one. I missed, sort of having that welcome. It only lasted for a minute. I have no intention of going out and buying another puppy. I have no intention of having any more pets. I'm far too old for that, and I don't want to die and leave somebody else have to deal with my pets just because I'm selfish enough to want one while I'm here. I just feel, every now and again I miss them, but I'm so joyful that I had them, and I look back on the memories with them. And I was looking at a memory of Cachorro the other day, and it was in New Hampshire. I don't remember if you remember this, Chris. We went to New Hampshire, and I took Cachorro, and he is probably still a healer dog. There he is, and I'm smiling at him. There we go.
That's awesome.
And people were coming up, and I was showing them how he was trained and so on. And there's this great picture of me and Cachorro sitting straight up by my side, and a gentleman wanting healing. And we have some great memories of our pets. So I can have a choice. I can moan and complain and bewail the fact that I don't have an animal anymore, or I can just remember. I mean, I've had some beautiful and special, mostly puppies, in my life, and so I just am grateful for that. So we love the fact that Willow's found a good home. Keep going, Chris.
Dean is reminding you. He's saying, this is our birthday month, Rosemary.
I know that, Dean, but what does anybody else know about that? Would you like to elaborate?
Whatever she said.
Anyway, keep going.
Rhonda says, speaking of your flower experience, I've had that happen when I order flowers. It's not all what is advertised. And Eric says they might bloom later for you.
Oh, well, I'm sure they will. But I think, what I really loved about the idea of this, that they were going to be in a really big tub. And I love holiday cactus because they don't just flower Christmas and New Year. I had them when I was in Vermont, and they would often flower at different times of the year, and they're really beautiful because they sort of hang down and they have these gorgeous blooms on them, and sometimes the blooms can be this big. I mean, they can be really gorgeous. And I had a big window in Vermont where I used to keep them, and there was always one or another flowering, and they're very easy also to take care of, very easy to take care of. But I just had this idea of, let me just get a nice big one. Then I got two. Let me just get a nice big one, and it's well established, and the leaves are already, sort of spread out and overflowing, and they're going to look really nice and green. And I got this idea. Well, I didn't get an idea in my head. I saw the pictures of them quite clearly. And then when they sent me the invoice, there they were, two big tubs, 1-gallon tubs, not so big, but they looked glorious. They looked absolutely glorious. And so that was what I had in my mind. And yes, of course, Eric, they will bloom. But I didn't expect to have to piddle about and go and buy pots and trays and potting compost, and didn't expect, because I'd already spent $90 something on these things, and now I'm having to pay for all of this other stuff as well. It's very, very, very disappointing. But I think that when we are disappointed like that, I think we should say something. And as I say, I try to say something to these people, but they told, oh yeah, we've sent you an email and we'll send you another one. And no, they didn't, because it wasn't in the junk mail, it wasn't in the trash. And believe you me, I scoured my email. But anyway, there it is. Moving on. They're all planted. I've got a nice spray for them that that I can put fertilizer in once a week or whatever it is, and so I'm going to hopefully keep my fingers crossed that they'll all start to really grow fairly soon. Chris.
Rhonda says, Rosemary, could you please ask my dad, who has passed, to watch over my husband, Bill, who was just diagnosed with prostate cancer? My dad also passed from prostate cancer.
Okay. Of course. Yes. When you ask, will you ask my dad? You don't have to explain that he's passed, because otherwise you could ask him yourself. Obviously, you're going through a very tough time here because, as you said, when you know someone who passed, and then and your husband also. But I have to say that there are some excellent remedies. I'm saying treatments. I should say treatments now. We shall put him in our healing book, Chris. If you could make a note, we'll be sending him healing every day. I will excuse me, I've got hiccups. I will certainly, Greg will certainly make sure that your dad knows. But let me just say this. Your dad knows everything that's going on with you. Sorry, I just got hiccups. I'm a hiccupy kind of person. So I'm absolutely certain that I don't need to ask your dad to help, because I think he's already on it. He knows, he's with you, he knows what's going on. But we'll put him in the healing book. And also what I'd also, if you wouldn't mind doing, is just give us an update from time to time. If they catch it early, he has a pretty good chance. So, at one time, when we used to, people used to talk about the big C, as if it was, you got cancer and that was it. And at one time, let's say 20 years ago, that was the case. But they have so many different treatments now. So we're rooting for you, and we're rooting for him. And please keep us updated on his progress. Chris.
She did say, I also pray and ask my dad to be with Bill, but I feel better if you see my dad.
Totally. we'll do it. Don't you worry. We'll do it. We'll do it for you. Absolutely. But I'm absolutely certain that, you know, I'm absolutely certain that you're just as good at this as I am. But I do understand where you're coming from, and I will specifically already doing it, already on it. Gregor tells me he knows, so we're already on it for you. So, you know, it's, and if I can ask everybody else who's watching, you know, collective healing, combined healing is very powerful. So if you could all send out your healing prayers to this lovely, lovely man, and we'll give him a double whammy, or even a triple treble whammy. Why not? Chris?
Yeah.
Vicky says, my child has been gone over 10 years. I had a dream last night with them in it. Could it have been a visitation, although I didn't speak about personal things with them?
It's, I would say it's fairly certain it's a visitation. I was talking to someone else the other day, someone who had lost their son, actually, and I was saying that because I'm a mother and a grandmother, I'm fortunate enough to be both. I think for me, the loss of a child has to be the worst kind of loss. Now, everybody's loss is tough. You lose a mother, you lose a father or a sister, sibling, or whatever. Terribly, terribly hard, very difficult. And for a lot of people, that's the worst loss. And I understand that. But for me, as a mother and a grandmother, the loss of a child is undoubtedly the worst. And people tell you, and I'm sure you've heard this, people tell you, you know, give it time, you'll get over it. Well, I had to say to this lady I was talking to, who was saying, people keep telling me, give it time, you'll get over it. And I just said to her, you'll never get over it. And those of you who are listening who have lost a child will know exactly what I'm saying. You will never get over the loss of a child, no matter what you do, and nor should you get over the loss of a child. That child is yours. That child is a part of you. That child is, you know, that you don't want to get over it. What happens is, though, and again, a lot of you will understand this when I say this, you will learn to live with it. We learn to live with the tragedies that we have, and we have good times and we have bad times. We can go a year or even 2 years, and then all of a sudden, for no reason or no apparent reason, we can break down, and it's as painful as it was when it first happened. But I'm pretty certain that this little one of yours, not so little anymore, by the way, is definitely trying to visit with you. And don't worry about what you talk about. Don't worry whether it's personal stuff or not personal. Connection is what happens. And as you are open to it, and as you stay open to the fact that this can happen, then it will happen more and more for you. Chris.
Andrea says, unfortunately, it's a sad month now for me. My dad had a stroke last year on the 2nd of May, and he passed away on the 20th. Could Grey Eagle tell how he's doing? Thank you.
Well, the 19th is my birthday, so I'm going to give you a birthday gift from me. How about that? I'm only doing this because Grey Eagle is saying, apparently we have him here with us. He is so excited to be able to, just say hello to you and to be a part of the show. And I do, yeah. So let me explain to you. Give me a second. Let me explain to you what's happening here. So usually Greg has his hand on my shoulder, especially if he needs me to pay attention to something, I'll feel his hand on my shoulder, and as he has his hand now. But I also have a lovely gentleman tapping me on the side of my face here, just to say, and I'm here too. So I do think we have this lovely man here for you. And not only can I tell you how he is, I can tell you he looks amazing. He has lovely twinkly eyes, which I like a lot. So for my birthday, I'm going to be giving birthday gifts out. How about that? So you get the first birthday. My birthday's on the 19th, just in case anybody forgets. My birthday's on the 19th. We'll probably be doing something on my birthday day or around my birthday anyway. So watch for that. We'll let you know what we got. Maybe I'll do some cooking. Maybe I'll make myself a birthday cake. I don't like cake so much. I make great cake, but I'm not a big cake eater. Maybe Chris will make some profiteroles. Chris has been after me to make profiteroles for years, because she wants to know how to make them. And I was thinking about them this morning. Or maybe we'll make something else. But anyway, we'll see what we can do. In the meantime, he's sending lots of love and kisses to you. That was unexpected for me. There you go, Chris. Keep going.
All right. Gary says, I can't have flowers outside because the turkeys eat them.
Well, Gary, look, you feed the turkeys. So, you know, you kind of do it to yourself. But these beautiful cactus, when you cut, Gary's coming soon. So when it's coming, we're doing an event, Chris. What date is the event?
June 13th through 15th.
Right. Chris is organized this event. It's her event, and I'm just a guest at her event.
You're not a guest. You're the keynote.
I'm just a guest. What can I say? I'm just a guest, and I'm going to be there. When am I going to?
On Friday night, the 13th, and then
There
you've got
you
a
are.
session Saturday morning, the
On
14th.
Friday night, right. What am I going to do? Let's think. On Friday night, I thought we might sort of give out some messages from the spirit world. So if you're there on Friday night, you know, you need to watch out, because I'll be talking to the spirit world, giving messages from the spirit world, and we usually have a lot of fun at these events. When am I there on Saturday? Saturday morning?
Yeah, from 10 a.m. until 1 p.m.
I don't even know what I'm doing. But on a Saturday morning, I think, you know, the event itself, and as I've said, Chris has organised this and arranged this. It's got nothing to do with me. I'm just going to turn up. Is about loss and about, I think isn't it about widows?
Yes, it's called A Journey from Grief Toward Joy.
There you go. So it's a good thing she knows about it, because I know nothing. I should just turn up on the night. Somebody will point me in the direction of the stage, and I'll just do my thing. That's as much as an involvement as I've got in this. However, when I'm involved, of course, we're going to be working. Gregor is going to be with me. My friend Gary is going to be coming along. And on Saturday morning, I'm probably nothing set in stone. When I do these events, people say to me, well, can you give me a description? Because I need to know what it is you're going to do. And I can give a description. But when I get there, it's not up to me what I do. It's up to Grey Eagle what I do, and it's up to those in the spirit world. So we certainly will be talking about grief and loss of partners and so on. And I've had so much experience dealing with people in this arena. And so I think, you know, a lot of the stuff that I'm able to talk about will be extremely helpful and, you know, and hopefully insightful and inspiring. So we'll be, we'll be talking about that, and I'll be interacting with the audience and participating with the audience, because when I go to these things and they put me on a stage, I might be on the stage for all of about 5 or 10 minutes. Then I've got to get off the stage and get into the audience, because that's my thing. I like to go in there and I like to get into the audience and I like to deal with the audience. Now that's provided that I can walk, that my back is not being a pain in the butt. But we like to laugh. We like to have fun. I remember going to Canada many years ago, and we had an audience of about 2,000 people, and we were in uproar. We were laughing so hard about so many different things. And this poor lady wrote to me. She said, "How could you laugh when there are so many people in grief?" And I felt so sad for this person, because how can you not laugh when there are so many people in grief? How can you not find joy in the fact that those people who you have lost are here with us? They're giving messages to us. They are participating with us. They are reminding us of the joys of life. They're reminding us of the fun that we could have and did have when they were here. And not only do we laugh, I remember people bringing, I remember one lady was crying so hard and nobody around her had tissues. And a lady somewhere in the middle of the audience shouted, "I've got a toilet roll, Rosemary. I brought a toilet roll," because I know we all cry. She had about 2 or 3 toilet rolls in her bag. And then another person at another part of the audience said, "I've got a toilet roll too." So if you're coming, and we hope you come, we hope you're going to come, we're going to have some fun. We're going to laugh. Hopefully we're going to laugh till we cry, or hopefully we're going to cry and then laugh, whatever it is. So bring plenty of tissues, or I don't mind if you bring a toilet roll or two. It makes no difference to me. We have fun. We have joy. We find joy in these events. It's important. We will also have at some point a meet and greet, and maybe even depending, we might even share a pizza or something. So, but that'll be. Is that Saturday night, Chris? Whenever that is.
Yeah, that'll be after the Saturday
So,
workshops.
I'll be coming and going. You'll see me and then you won't, and then you'll see me again. So I'll be dodging in and out, but it's going to be a lot of fun doing that. Why am I talking about this at all? Gary. So Gary is coming. He's going to be there helping me and supporting me. And for those of you who don't know Gary or don't remember Gary, he is the one who just had the experience with his angel. So he'll be there. So if any of you want to ask him questions about what it was like to see his angel or how he feels about that, he'll be there too. Sorry to drop you in it, Gary, but there it is. Keep going, Chris.
All right. Mark said, "Every time I walk in my home, I sense my puppies excited to see me. And I always say, 'Puppies, I'm home.'"
Nice. Very nice. That's so nice. I often see my puppies. Excuse me. I often see my puppies, but just every now and again, I don't know. I just felt this incredible furry thing jump into my lap, so I'm enjoying that at the moment. But anyway, I'm glad. I'm glad for that. I'm glad that that's your experience, Chris.
Angela is asking, is it possible for a pet that has passed after its owner that they find each other in the afterlife?
Oh God, I hope so. Yes, that's an interesting question. I don't think I've been asked that question before, but yes, absolutely. Um, I'm trying to think of an example. I think I've told this story before about the geese and the man who I had a lady come see me for a consultation, and I didn't know, but it turned out she was a farmer. She had a small farm with her husband and her. They had two pet geese who had died. They'd lived to a ripe old age, but they had died prior to his passing. And so she's sitting in front of me, and I'm describing what it is we're going to try to do, and so on and so forth. And as I'm talking to her and describing to her, I always say to people there are no guarantees, but as I'm sitting describing this to her and making her, sort of trying to make her feel as comfortable as possible with the process, I actually see standing behind her quite clearly, very, very clearly, I see this guy with two geese, one under each arm. And I'm thinking to I had to blink, think, what am I seeing? What's going on? Never saw that before. It was a first, definitely. And so I'm thinking, now I can't say this to her. This is her first time. She's come to see me for the first time. I can't really say that to her. She'll think I'm nuts. So how am I going to relay this? And the guy looks at me. He says, just tell her that you can see me and I've got, the geese. So then I check with Grey Eagle. I say to Grey Eagle, what's going on here? Is this? And Grey Eagle says, just tell her. So I just said to her very gently, because I didn't want her to think I was nuts. I'm a little crazy. We're all the nice ones are a little crazy. But anyway, I say to her, look, you might think I'm a little bit crazy, but I do have this gentleman here, and I described him and so on. And I said, I have to tell you that he has two geese. He's carrying two geese, one under each arm. And these weren't little tiny baby geese. These were huge geese. And she burst into tears. She just burst into tears. She said, that's him. That's my husband. And he has our whatever they called them. I can't remember the name of the geese, but they have named the geese, and he has them with him. And she, from that small detail that seemed so crazy, that small detail just told her everything. That's him. That's my husband. And he has the geese. And he was crying and excited about the whole thing. Chris.
Dean is asking, does Grey Eagle have any insight into my eldest daughter, Becky's, illness that the doctors don't seem to be able to figure out?
I think, Dean, we should have a conversation, you and I. We know each other well enough. Dean, I mean, how long, Dean, has it been? Long time. So perhaps we could arrange a conversation, we can either do it on FaceTime or we can do it, Chris can maybe figure something out. And let's just, you and I just have a conversation and you can tell me all about it and we'll see what. Chris.
Rhonda said, thank you, Rosemary, and everyone for your prayers. I will keep you updated.
Thank you. Okay, keep going.
Mark says, oh, I had the most wonderful dream the other night. My mom and her mom were in the dream, and I was to embrace my grandmom and kiss her on the cheek, and it felt as real as if it were happening. And I think my puppies were there too. I woke up feeling so blessed.
Well, you know that it was real and it really was happening. So how, and I don't need to tell you that, do I? So I think that's fantastic. Thank you for sharing that with us. That's amazing. Chris.
Tracy's saying hello from England to both you and Grey Eagle, and saying it's 28 degrees Celsius in England today.
What does that mean? Why did they change all of that? It used to be Fahrenheit, and I always used to know why on earth did England go? I suppose it was when you joined the EU that you changed it, but they really should change it back. I don't know what that is. probably about, is it 50 or something? Don't you double it? 50 some degrees? I don't remember. But anyway, hi, Tracy. I'm glad you joined us.
And then Violet saying hello as
Hi,
well.
Violet. Is it warm? Is it warm there or is it cold there? Help me out.
Violet says it's repeatedly said that burning white sage to cleanse is not smudging unless this is your native culture. It's cultural appropriation. I wondered what Gray Eagle thought about it. Should we
No,
stop?
that's rubbish, she says. It's okay. Let's be clear. The Native Americans, they did that in their culture. They're not the only culture in the world, by the way, who does that kind of thing or similar things. Lots of different cultures have their different ways of doing things. Cultural appropriation, my fiddlesticks, I'm going to say. If I've been all over the world, I've been very fortunate. I've traveled all over the world and I've experienced many different cultural experiences, and I've experienced many different cultural ideas and have exchanged with many different cultures their beliefs and my beliefs and so on and so forth, right? It's called sharing. It's not called stealing or appropriation. Fiddlesticks. Who comes up with these things? I don't know who comes up with these things. If you find something about a culture, or if you find something about a person who is of a completely different faith to you, but they're interesting and what they have to say is, makes you think or inspires you, what are you doing then? Appropriating their ideas? It's fiddlesticks. It's, oh gosh, it just makes me furious when these people, talk about this stuff. It's such nonsense. Am I making myself clear? Do you now realize, you all know now what it is I think about this? If you find, whether it's another culture, whether it's a neighbor, I mean, if someone gives me a recipe and it's a great recipe, oh, am I appropriating that recipe? Am I stealing it then? What am I doing? How stupid is this? How ridiculous is it? When you find an idea, or you talk to someone who's a completely different culture to you, and they give you a good idea, or you learn from them how you can, do something which is meaningful, it is not about, I'm stealing this, I'm appropriating this, so it isn't real. It is about sharing. It's about energy. It is about, being open to and having available to you different sources of information which you can use. And it is all about your intention. It's got nothing to do with appropriating. It's about intention. So if you take sage, for instance, because this is what we started with, and you burn the sage. Don't do what I did, because the first time I ever did it, I almost set the house on fire, and it actually wasn't my house. So you've got to do it. You've got to think about it. Do it carefully. Read up on it. Read up on the idea of it. Follow the cultural thinking and so on. And what you're doing is you're sharing energy. And if your intention is right and it's good, who cares what you call it? Smudging, cleansing. I had a lovely lady I had a consultation with this week. She was lovely. Boy, was she a healer. I mean, truly a natural healer. And she starts with all this jargon. And at one point she says to me, I think I might be becoming a transmitter. Had she been in front of me, I think I would have hit her. I said, we're not transmitting. I said, I was actually speaking with her father and various other members of her family. I'm talking to them. They're talking to me. We are having a conversation. That's what it is. And we have to understand there's no such thing as the supernatural. There's no such thing as the paranormal. Everything in this life of ours is normal and natural and a part of our everyday life. And if we can learn from other cultures how to do things, and if these things work for us, and if we use the right energy, and if we're using the right intention, we're not stealing or appropriating anything. And anybody who's holding on to this and saying, well, this is mine and this is my culture, well, get a life, get a grip. We are sharing here. We are a people in this world. It's not Native American, it's not Asian, it's not Chinese, it's not German, it's not French. It's when we're talking about this spiritual world of ours and using these spiritual ideas and so on, it's all about sharing and learning and using the right intention. Trust me, I smudge. If I go into a house and I feel there's a need for smudging, and if somebody's offended by that, get a life. Go away from me. Get a life. Hold on to whatever you want to hold on to. I'm a sharer and I'm a carer, which is why we do these shows. And, we have our events and and I share my life and my world with others. And why wouldn't I? And Grey Eagle, you ask his opinion. His opinion is exactly mine. And we have smudged together. What can I tell you? We have smudged. Now, he's Native American, so it's part of his nature, but he teaches me these things. Why do you think he teaches me? So I can keep it all to myself? No. He teaches me so that we can share, we can learn, we can grow. And I'm going to shut up now because this kind of attitude and this kind of narrow, mean thinking, let's keep it all to us. That belongs to us. We are a people and an entire people in this world. And if we don't share and if we don't care enough to care, and if we're doing something with the right intention, then anybody who has trouble with that needs to go away, put themselves in a little cave somewhere, keep to themselves, or they need to get a life, which means open yourselves up and share how you do things and how your culture feels about certain things. We share, we care, we love. We are a whole people, not individuals. Chris.
Eric says my pet Jada is drinking a lot of water. Will she be okay? I'm looking into pet insurance.
Yes, get it, and you should get pet insurance. Everybody should get pet insurance. You mean nobody's got anything to say about what I just said? Just
I can go down to the bottom of the list. Yes. Violet said, that is what I thought too, but I didn't want to inadvertently disrespect anyone.
okay.
Mark says, I use white sage and Palo Santo wood to bless my home prior to doing my weekly spiritual service. So we do this via phone from our homes.
Okay. Well, whether you call it smudging or cleansing or don't matter what you call it, you do know, don't you, that God is only dog spelled backwards. You know that, right? It doesn't matter what you call something. It matters what you feel. It matters what is in your heart and what is in your soul. and it matters. Your intentions matter. And as long as you have right intention, good intention. Now, they do say that good intention, the road to hell is paved with good intention. But when we're talking about spiritual work and spiritual things, it's all about right intention. And that's what we need to follow. Chris.
So Violet said, thank you. That makes a lot of sense. Mark says, Rosemary, everyone here knows you are love, the embodiment of the emotion. I believe we all feel this
Oh,
from
thank
you.
you. I appreciate that.
Linda,
Yeah,
Linda,
it wasn't like that when those cuttings came into my house. I'm thinking there was no love lost there, I can tell you. Go ahead, Chris.
Linda wants to know, are you able to look into people and see what their health issues are and how to fix them?
Well, yes, you can tell an awful lot by a person's aura, or in other words, a person's energy field. Um, you know, when you look at a person, you can see their energy field, you can see the aura around them, you can often see, the aura, the energy around a person can tell you a great deal about that person. It can tell you if the person is a good person or not such a good person, but it often can denote different areas of the physical body that maybe need attention, or maybe have, sort of different health issues. I used to, and I occasionally do it now. I don't need crystals, but I like using crystals. I've got two special crystals. I like to use them every now and again. I just play with them. But you can actually scan someone using your mind, using your energy, using your abilities. You can actually scan a person from top to toe to figure out, if there's something there. And we've often done that. Greg and I have often, been able to. I'm thinking of one particular lady. Say, uh, I can remember saying, how does your neck feel on this side? And she said, it's fine, it's fine. I said, does it hurt when you move it? No. And I said, will you do something for me? Will you go and get it checked out? Go talk to your doctor. And even though you can't feel anything, there's nothing there, I want you to go get it checked out. And sure enough, she had a cancer, and she ended up literally having half of her neck taken away. She had to wear a brace for the rest of her life. But that one small thing that, I said, it's difficult because you don't want to worry people, you don't want to scare people. But I said to her, if you go and get it sorted out now, you'll be fine. And she came back to me 2 or 3 months later and said, yes, this is what they found. And then we went into more detail about what, perhaps what she needed to do and how she needed to deal with what was going on with her. So yes, the answer is yes. Chris.
Trudy says, hello, Rosemary. My son's dog at age 16 recently, I'm going to assume she meant died, but it wasn't typed in. And my son did an elaborate farewell. Do you have any insight I can share with him? Thank you.
Oh, I love your son. I really love your son. How nice. How nice that he did that. Yes, this is what I would say to him. You said an elaborate farewell, but I suspect he knows that even though he was saying goodbye to that physical little being here on this earth, he knows that, that little puppy, maybe not so little, but I know that he knows that there'll be a time when they'll get together again. So it isn't goodbye exactly. It's whatever that is. It's like a farewell for now. See you later, that sort of thing. But I love the fact that he did that. I love the fact that it was important to him. This animal was important enough for him to do that. But I suspect your son is an extremely sensitive and loving and caring boy, and I love him. I love him. Tell him I love him. Chris.
Anita is asking, why does my husband or son not answer my questions about where to settle down?
Oh golly, that's a whole. If we had time, but we don't. I'm going to suggest that you either. It's called communication. You either sit them down and tell them how important it is to you, and have a proper conversation with them. Make sure that there are no interruptions. Make sure that they can't, lock the doors if necessary, bolt them in, but sit quietly and have a conversation with them, and just tell them how important it is to you that they should talk to you, and just do that quietly, and and if not, maybe a consultation will be in order. But I would, try the communication way first. Chris.
You're over time, and that was the last
Okay,
question.
well, how did it go so fast? Okay, so if you want tickets to the event, Chris, do your thing. If you need to know more, please email us, rosemary@rosemaryaLtea.com. And Chris can answer those questions. The event will be held in Venice, Florida, which is where we live, where I live anyway. And no, you can't come banging on my door. Don't do that. But if you want to see me, it's been a while since we did we tried it. The last time we tried it, we had that awful hurricane, and we had to cancel because there was such a lot of devastation in the area that I'm in. But here we are, so it's going ahead. It is June, whatever the date is. And in the meantime, please check us out, because we will be doing more stuff. We promised a cooking show, and I haven't done it yet because my daughter decided to come visit, and that was that, and then it was Easter, and that was that. We will be doing a cooking show. If you've got any favorites or anything you want to learn how to cook, let us know. Summer's coming, so maybe we'll do some, picnic stuff and some summer stuff. The Brits are great at picnics. Did you know that? We're good at picnics, and we're good at picnic food. So, if you're thinking about visiting the beach, or if you're thinking about going to the park or doing a picnic, maybe we'll do a picnic thing, a summer thing. We'll do maybe something like that. But we'll be doing an English tea. You never know, scones and cream horns, and yes, that sounds good, because then after we've done the show, then we get to eat everything. So we'll be doing that. We'll also be doing some healing, and we'll be doing our inspirational stuff also. So keep checking. The newsletter will hopefully go out later, because I've got to do it. I'm so bad. I meant to do it yesterday. Sorry about that. It might be a day late. You never know. But anyway, I'll be sending out the newsletter very soon, or Chris will be sending it out very soon on my behalf. And in the meantime, we'll be here next week, same time, same place. So thank you for joining me. I'd like to say thank you to Gregor, especially because isn't he amazing? Yeah, I think so. I'd like to say thanks to Chris, and I'd like to say thanks to all of you for joining us. Gosh, it did go fast this week. Until I see you again, please, everyone, have a very blessed rest of the day, and have a very blessed and happy and joyful weekend. Find something, no matter how sad you are, no matter how depressed you are, no matter how awful you might be feeling, no matter how your back hurts, or you're sick or whatever, you're struggling with something. If you look hard enough and you are patient enough, see if you can find at least one small joyful thing in your life this weekend that you can hold on to and feel blessed by. My grandson does it for me every time I think about him. I feel so, so blessed. So enjoy the weekend, everybody, and until we see you again,